Everybody knows that young people don't engage with the news anymore, right? Wrong. This presentation will use citizen journalism to demonstrate that young people still are engaged with the news, and just use more exciting platforms to do so. The rise in popularity of programs that Harrington says blur the distinctions between genres that can inform and entertain on TV will also be used to counter the common argument that young people are no longer engaged with the news. So before I begin, I should probably define news. Harrington gives a definition in Lecture 6 as the stuff that keeps citizens informed about the democratic institutions and other information that affects them. That done, I'll begin with my first example. Once exclusively the territory of established journalists and media conglomerates, an average citizen witnessing events or capturing them on a phone video can now make and globally distribute news. Harrington notes we are not in the grip of a crisis point in public life, but that it only seems so because people are not always getting their news from the sources society has come to exclusively recognise over the course of modernity. Instead of watching reporters on TV or reading articles in a newspaper, young people are creating their own news. An example of this is citizen journalism website Oh My News. Here, young citizen journalists publish articles on hundreds of different topics. These individuals seem awfully informed about democratic institutions for young people who apparently no longer engage with the news. The demise of the one-to-many media model has also instilled moral panic in traditionalists such as Minjic, who claims our democracy is in big, big trouble. And this increasingly tuned out generation is the beginning of an age of indifference. I argue, however, that the existence of sites such as Oh My News is proof enough that young people aren't only engaged in the news, but due to technology are in fact more engaged than ever before. The second example I'll be using of young people engaging in the news is through entertaining news shows, particularly in a conversational format. Harrington gives examples of such as Andrew Denton's Enough Rope and The Panel as a form of news and current affairs that is socially interrogative and progressive, relevant to people's everyday lives and enjoyable, therefore increasing the possibility that it will be actively watched. This suggests that news should adopt a more engaging, if you will, format that young people can relate to. Gray also agrees that new news, as he calls it, is in high demand amongst young people. Not only do these shows engage young people, but they also encourage them to collectively discuss news further. Harrington says the Panel TV show has the ability to equip its audiences with discursive tools, which facilitate their own discussions of news and current affairs. Today, I have argued that young people are engaging with the news, but in ways that are going unidentified by traditionalists who look only to declining news readerships and unpopular news formats. Citizen journalists are a perfect example of how young people do engage with the news, not only consuming but also producing their own news, made possible through the internet and new technologies. Additionally, satirical news shows are grabbing the attention of our younger generation and inciting conversation amongst our apparently tuned out selves. Everybody should know that young people are engaging with the news, now more than ever.